حديث of Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم, كتاب رياض-الصالحين by Imam النووي رحمة الله عليه. وما زلنا في كتاب اللباس, يعني we are still with the section of attire or dress code. And as I mentioned last time, that when we're studying the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we'll have lots of other benefits. Even though the hadith is mentioned in a certain section to support a certain issue or a topic, but there's lots of other things. The sunnah of Rasulullah. And when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is sitting, somebody asks him a question, he gives him an answer. And maybe the answer for that question is 2 or 3 words only. But Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave a speech. هذه هداية, guidance. Anything that the Prophet say is not extra. I want you to understand that. But when I speak to you, or you speak to me, I ask you something, and you give me extra, it's called extra. Extra. But when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam answered, every word has mizan. Mizan, yani scale. It will benefit you for sure in your life. Because he is the instructor of the ummah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So when we study a hadith, don't say, oh, why all this hadith for only that part? We talk about that. Huh? When you look at the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, regardless what is the topic, you have to have open heart. That I want to learn 100 other things. And I want to. And who doesn't want to be in the suhbah of Rasulullah? And that is why the muhaddithin, those who are the scholars of hadith, they are special. Why? Because the scholars of fiqh, jurisprudence, have daily interaction with people. Halal, haram, you can do, you cannot do. But there is communication every day. But the muhaddith, his job is to protect the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Is to say that hadith sahih, but it's not sahih. Who say this, who does not say that. They are protectors, gatekeepers. Because from that hadith, then we are going to design many rules and have other things. So that's why the muhaddith حظه في الآخرة مش في الدنيا. That's why the muhaddith is always, his investment is where? طبعا كلنا our investment in آخرة طبعا. But الفقيه, always there is an issue come back and forth, right? اجتهاد, not اجتهاد, is this a دليل from Quran, في دليل from Sunnah, or, شغال مع الناس يعني he is working with people every day. He has a role to play in this dunya. But المحدث, his شغل فين؟ الفقيه ممكن ياخد فلوس كتير. يبقى قاضي, يبقى كده, to give fatwa, this, that, he can get some dunya as well. We're not saying haram or halal here, right? It's based on intention. But the muhaddith, who's going to pay him to tell him what is the da'if, what is the... Nobody cares. That is why Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, نَضَّرَ اللَّهُ وَجْهَ رَجُلٍ سمع منا مقالة فوعاها فبلغها فرب مبلغ أوعى من سامع. May Allah brighten the face of someone who heard my speech and delivered it to somebody, understood it, heard my speech, understood it, and then delivered it to somebody, because maybe the person who received will be better than the person who sent. That tells you, don't only get stuck to the topic. Meaning what? You can narrate a hadith. I am narrating hadith for you. And there is a portion of the hadith, I'm not intending to teach you anything in it. But you catch it and said, aha, that's what I was waiting for. And then it changes your life. If I am just the one who sent it to you, give it to you. You are the مبلغ وأنا السامع. I am the one who heard the hadith from my sheikh. And I benefited something. You benefited 10 times more. You are مبلغ أوعى من سامع. Of course, we'll both get reward. But you are more practical. So that is the beauty of the Sunnah of Rasulullah. Always somebody will benefit something. So we want, inshallah, as the group of Riyadus-Saliheen, to be always eager when the Sunnah is taught to you, when Quran taught to you. Because now when I'm giving lectures, sometimes, Shaykh, stick to the topic. I was told that many times. In the lectures, Shaykh, why you are diverting here and there? Stick to the topic. ماشي يا عم حاضر. عظيم سلام. I'll stick to the topic. See, that is the Western way of confining you to something. Of course, if we are studying a course, you're taking a certificate, you want to graduate, you want to, ماشي, and I understand you. We stick to the topic. But our topic is what now? What is our topic? بس كده. Why are you here this morning? Shaykh, I want to study only every single thing about the attire in Islam. اتكلم في الأتاير بس. قميص والحذاء والشوز وthis وthat. If you're going to talk about drinking, لا لا لا, stick to the attire. مش هينفع الكلام ده. This is not going to work like this. That's why يا أخواني, we become very professional in one small field. But we are ignorant in everything else. شو كده? Isn't this what is now? You find an expert in one little tiny thing like this. An expert, mashallah. Nobody in Houston like that person in this little aspect. Does he know anything? Oh, no, not my specialty. What about this? Not my specialty. What about this? Not my specialty. What about this? Not my specialty. Nothing is my specialty. I don't know anything about anything, only this one. That's why the difference. 100 years ago, this was not like that. Only 100 years ago. مش بعيد قوي يعني. 100 years ago was not like that. You find somebody who writes poetry, who writes, literature, and he's a very good doctor. And when you ask him about fiqh, he's a scholar. And when salah time comes, he leads Quran, different qira'at. You find somebody who designed all these masajid all over the world, this architecture that we are, mashallah, wondering and all that. Ulama. They were scholars. These people were scholars. كانوا علماء يعني. في الهندسة وفي الدين. You think يعني he's an engineer, come out from engineering college وما يعرفش حاجة في الدين? He does not know anything in the deen. Those engineers are the ones who wrote the Quran on the thing. كانوا حافظين لكتاب الله يعني. Those people who are the workers and all of that, the workers who used to put the gypsum board and he used to put all of this, the scholars. They memorize the Quran. Yeah. The people who clean the masajid, they were memorizers of the Quran. They were engineers, they were doctors, business people. Can you be? Some of those scholars, they sell honey, they sell olive oil, they sell silk, they sell shoes, they sell pickles. Yeah. Wallahi, I'm telling you, there are scholars اسمه المخللاتي بيبيع المخلل يعني. ماشي؟ عنده, he has a store, he make pickles. So people go buy pickles and read Quran. Now say, oh, he has a pickle store, he has a coffee shop. ده coffee shop scholar هذا. تروح تشرب كافي عنده وتتعلم. يعني imagine somebody have a coffee shop, you go to drink coffee in the morning and he give you some ayat of the Quran كده. Students go there and يقرؤون عليه الكتاب وهو عمال يعمل barista. And why I'm saying all of this? Because my heart is aching. When I see everybody specialized in something and they're very happy with it, with the dunya. أنا ما شاء الله expert in making money. But what's your value يا حبيبي? What is your value? يعني when you stand in front of رب العالمين سبحانه وتعالى and tell you what did you do with your life? I was making money يا رب. Thank you. What do you want to say? يعني what is your life worth? It's a problem. It's a big issue. Don't you agree with me? It's a big issue. يعني to summarize your life كده, your life worth. Give me one sentence saying I used my life to do this. And this equals getting closer to Allah. It can be your work also. But are you using your work to make you closer to Allah? You have to find that link. Find it today, by the way. Don't procrastinate. Find it today. You are a business person. How that business gets you closer to Allah to become a better person. You have to find that link. A smart businessman, always trying to expand your business, always trying to make your retirement plan. This is what you do as a businessman. Great. Good. But where is the link between that and getting closer to Allah Azza wa Jal? So you can say, Ya Allah, you blessed me with the business that I used to become a better slave of yours. And Isaac, to answer that. I want you to answer that part. You are a doctor? Great. You do your job properly? Alhamdulillah. You have lots of patients? MashaAllah. Now find the link that this job here every day increases your iman and gets you closer to Allah and makes you a better Muslim. So 10 years from now, you are a better doctor and a better Muslim. We have to stop the idea of you have to take Islamic studies classes. You have to be a sheikh. You have to be a hafiz to be a better Muslim. ليه يعني why? Why? Do you think Islam, studying Islam is only monopoly for Shaykh Mamduh and his likes? وانت فين? Where are you guys learning the ahkam of the salah and the siyam and the hajj and the business transactions and learning all of this and teaching a class to somebody that who doesn't know? Why are not like that? Why are not thinking to be like that? Make a 5-year plan. Make a 5-year plan. Say in 5 years, I want to be able, what is your passion? What's your passion? Your passion is one aspect of the deen. Study it. Take 5-year plan. If you die during the 5 years, Allah will give you reward for your niyyah, akhi. But make a 5-year plan. I will study this topic and I will do in details so I become a better businessman, doctor, engineer, this, that, and a good Muslim, who's teaching people this benefit here. I'm going to take 10, 15 teenagers or young children, like the age of my son or my daughter or my grandson or my granddaughter, doesn't matter. Don't have no excuse. Huh? And I'm going to teach them that topic, inshaAllah Rabbil Alameen. Tafsir, hadith, seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and history. I'm going to take the ahkam of salah. I want one of you, maybe one of you, he loves the salah so much, said, I'm going to learn the ahkam of the salah. Ahkam of salah. And I'm going to take 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and until I learn the wudu and the tahara, that will be my specialty course for new Muslims. مثلا يعني. My specialty course for 10-year-old children. 10-year-old children. You have a big family, said, you know what? I have these nephews and nieces, there are about 20 of them. Now I'm going to get those 20 and said, we are going to learn ahkam al-tahara wal-salah. 6 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, doesn't matter. And you're going to speak about the salah and everything, and you are going to instruct them. Imagine these 20 kids, each one of them praying properly for the rest of their life. You are in your grave, and عداد شغال. The meter is going on. Every time they make ruku' and sujood, Allah send you. Now that is value. That is what? Value. If you have a business, and you say, you know what? I'm going to teach 5, 6 people, I'm going to mentor them how to do investment properly. Make it your job, ya akhi. I'll tell you, summarizing before we get to the hadith. Research happened. I mentioned that before. The longest research in the history of researches was done by Harvard University. And that research continued for 83 years, something like that. It was the longest time to make research for someone for that long period. They took some high school students who entered Harvard, and they put them as the research subject, right? And they continued for the next 70 plus years. Okay? So they graduated when they are in 20s until they died out. That generation. And they were studying what is the purpose of life and what is the meaning of happiness. احنا عندنا طبعا the answer يعني. You don't need 80 years. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا. That's your purpose of life. Okay? That's the purpose of what? Life. Is that you to worship Allah. What is the meaning of happiness? Is to make Allah happy. صح? Yes? Anything that makes Allah happy should be the source of your happiness. قُلْ بِفَضْلِ اللَّهِ وَبِرَحْمَتِهِ فَبِذَلِكَ فَلْيَفْرَحُوا هُوَ خَيْرٌ مِمَّا يَجْمَعُونَ. يعني everything you collecting in this world should not be the actual reason for your happiness. Because these things come and go. It will leave you or you will leave it. يعني واحدة من الاثنين هتحصل. يعني it's going to happen. You're going to walk away from everything you collected, or everything you collected is going to walk away from you. حد ممكن يقول لي something else? It's either or. ما هو يعني that's it. You can be rich for the rest of your life. Rest of your life. But what is after the rest of your life? You walk away. But the real happiness is the eternal happiness. And what will be the reason for your eternal happiness? Allah radiallahu anhu. Allah said, I'm pleased with you. But that is the source. But they make this 80 plus years. They found that any purpose of life, achieving anything for yourself, will never make you happy. وريسيرش بقى وهندردز and pages وأسئلة وأجوبة وعمالين يلفوا ويدوروا. They're going in circles, right? I read all of this, but يعني at the end of the day, summary كده, at the end of the day, they said, if you want to have a purpose in your life, see what you're leaving behind. يعني the purpose of your life is what happens after, not while you are in here. يعني your purpose of life is لما تموت الناس تقول ساب ايه وكانوا يعني. يعني what you leave behind you is not what you are here doing. See? Second, happiness is how much you benefit others, not yourself. Subhanallah. Isn't that what Rabb al-Alamin told us? بس احنا مستنيين Harvard to make it يعني. We're waiting for it. They said the true happiness is to impact somebody else's life positively. يعني when you come tell me that I benefit something from you, that is the true happiness. And then I buy this clothes for myself, that's not true happiness. I'm happy with it. I'm happy that I have new watch. I'm happy that I have this. I'm happy. But is that true happiness though? No. The true happiness is a lasting feeling. And that lasting feeling that I go home while I know that this group of people benefit something and they're happy with it. And you see this person, and you see this person did this, you see this person did this, you see this person did this. هذا هو الفرح. This is the true thing. At the end of the day, whenever you are studying the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and you're teaching it to somebody else, you should be happy or not. Oh, هذا الكلام. That is what you should be happy with. When you see your son making adhan, when you see your son reciting Quran properly, when you see your daughter want to wear hijab, when you see your daughter, mashallah, doing some good stuff, هذا happiness. When you see your daughter getting married to somebody good who taking care of her, that is true happiness. You see? Not true happiness what I get myself. That true happiness is when I see happy people around me. That's why they say the true leader is the one who produces leaders. It's not the one who stay a leader. It's always the case. Find anything in this world, it will be about making someone else. The legacy. They said you a legacy. Sometimes you do not know the name of people. You don't know the name of certain people, but you see their a'mal. So subhanallah, the person who invented this, oh may Allah Azza wa Jalla be with him. Smoking bar, the person who invented this. Every time somebody like this, he gets one sin. هو حظه كده. He made it like this. For every time somebody does like this, but every time you say subhanallah, the person who taught you this takes a part of it. And the person who taught him takes a part of it. When Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam take part of everything. That's why his degree in Jannah, nobody's higher than him. Because everybody under Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, copy of the reward goes to who? Us. So where you want to be, as high as you can, affect the lives of as many people as you can. Memorize this from me today. How high you want to be in Jannah, how many people you affected their life. Because the more they work with what you taught them, is the more what? Now you understand why Rasulullah said that ilm is more than ibadah? Now you understand why? Being a scholar, knowledgeable person, a teacher is better than being a worshipper. Then a worshipper, you are accumulating deeds by yourself, for yourself. صح? I am making tahajjud all night long for the next year. What am I doing here? My own effort for my own self. Does anybody else benefit from this investment? No. But now if I talk to all of you about the importance of tahajjud, see, same topic. I'm telling you tahajjud, وشرف المؤمن, وhow Rasulullah ﷺ did, how you do, how you wake up, what dua you say, all of this. And the 10 of you started doing tahajjud. So that ilm now, give me what? Give me what? Good deeds. I will be sleeping, you're making tahajjud, and I'm taking reward for 10 tahajjud. Just being a scholar. Passive income. And thank you. See, business people right here. Now, that is what I'm calling relating your profession to the deen. I like that. So bring those concepts that we use in business and all that and invest in the deen of Allah Azza wa Jal. Now you are successful. Now your life has a meaning. Please do that. Relate what is in your work to the what? The deen. You invest and you said, how can I do the same thing for الصلاة? How can I do the same thing في الدين? كيف يعني أشتغل هذا? Instead of all your life is just to make money, stocks, this, that. عندنا في الإسلام same thing. Imagine كده the صلاة as a stock market يعني. Imagine the صلاة as a business. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم told us that this dunya is like a marketplace. He told us that. صلى الله عليه وسلم. He said الدنيا كالسوق يعني. كل الناس يغدو فبائع نفسه فمعتقها وموبقها. Everybody goes to the market in the morning. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم said يغدو يعني going for sale يعني. Everybody sells himself, so he frees himself. When you sell yourself to Allah, say, you know Allah, I'm not gonna become slave to anybody, only you. That's what Rasulullah said. Now معتقها. Now you just freed yourself from slavery to anything else. أو موبقها. Then another person choose to become a slave of something in this dunya. Allah will leave him. May Allah save us subhanahu wa ta'ala. فيعني this the hadith you'll see, you will understand what all this introduction I said, you will get it. Why? And you'll see how the Sahaba benefit from every single opportunity that they get from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wasallam. So there was a long hadith last time we start. وعن أبي جري جابر بن سليم. This Sahabi is called Jabir ibn Sulaym. I'm sorry, this is Tabi'i. جابر ibn Sulaym واسمه أبي جري. قال رأيت رجلا يصدر الناس عن رأيه. I'm sorry, this is a Sahabi. The next one is Tabi'i. So he said that I saw a person, he is coming to accept Islam. He's coming to accept Islam. So he said that I saw a person that everybody listened to and they will follow his opinion. قال قلت عليك السلام يا رسول الله مرتين. He said, may the peace be upon you. But he said it عليك first. May upon you be peace. عليك السلام. 2 times. فالنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لا تقل عليك السلام عليك السلام تحية الموتى. This is the greeting of the dead. الجاهلية يعني. الجاهلية they used to say عليك السلام when somebody dies يعني. When somebody dies and they say poetry about him رثاء يعني eulogy. They call it in English eulogy. Eulogy is to say something about the person who died. So when they say this, they said عليك السلام وأبا فلان وأبا فلان, like that, you know, عليك السلام. So they said this is how to greet the dead. فالإسلام نسخ هذا. قال قل السلام عليك. not عليك السلام. عليك السلام is the reply. So you address me and said, Assalamu alayk, the peace be upon you. And I said, Wa alaykum assalam. And upon you too. But you don't start by saying alayk assalam. That is for somebody who died. But see, after Islam, Assalamu alaykum is both. For dead and for life. So when you go visit the dead people, what you say? Assalamu alaykum, dar qawmi mu'mineen. فعليك السلام هذه only for the reply as Muslim. بعد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بعد الإسلام السلام عليكم to start وعليكم السلام to reply. نعم. أنا عارف أنا I know. I did the general but there are parts of the hadith we have not done yet. قال أنت رسول الله. He said yes. أنا رسول الله. I am the prophet of Allah. And then he started talking about Allah. That the one that if there is a problem that you ask him, he will respond to you. And if you have famine, he will change it and he will send you rain. And if you are alone and your camel lost from you, you make dua for him, he will bring it back to you. Then he told him, give me an advice. اعهد إلي. اعهد إلي هذه is a covenant يعني you tell somebody give me a وصية. But this here is extra. And when you say, Shaykh, advise me. That is one level, huh? Give me some advice. That's one level. I give you an advice. You might do it, you might not do it. But when you say, give me ahad, you want to force yourself to do it. شايف؟ تقول عاهدته. عهد يعني ايه؟ promise ومش promise easy. Covenant. يعني you are making a covenant upon yourself. قال اعهد إلي. يعني tell me something that I promise you I'm going to do. قال لا تسبن أحدا. Don't insult anybody. Now he took what? عهد is not just a simple advice. And I never insulted even an animal after that. حتى camel I will not say you are this camel. I will not say the word يعني. فسبحان الله. وقال you never belittle any good, even if it is little. Talk to your brother with good face, and raise your izar. That is the part here, and all of that. And if somebody insulted you, don't insult them back with the same thing. عيّرة, يعني if he reminded you of something, or a shortcoming that you have, or some favor that they did to you, don't reply back with the same. Subhanallah, in the psychology, modern psychology and all of that, they say that everything has a cycle. The good has a cycle, 360, and the bad also have a cycle, 360. Yeah, it feeds to itself until it comes back again to the same thing, and it will continue, and it will continue, it will continue. Any interaction, yeah. If I do something, and then you reply back to me, then what do I need to do? I reply back to you? And then now you feel like what? You want to win. So each one of us want to win. And you want to go on a high note. This will never end. Until what happens? Someone wins. واحد لازم shut some other one down يعني. فالإسلام telling us that we don't want to reach to that level. Then now there is hatred. Even one is right. في واحد صح يعني. There is one of them maybe is right. But what did it cause at the end of the day? We don't like each other anymore. No. Living with each other with an issue is better than this. So he said, you know what? I'm not going to continue this. Break the cycle. So whenever there is negative, you're supposed to be the one who breaks the cycle, not the one who continues. And when it comes to good, you're supposed to be the one continuing the cycle, not breaking it. واضح يا اخوانا؟ Is that clear? فالنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم is saying like that. If somebody عيرك لا تعيره. Even though you have the right, انت عندك right, you have the right, عندك الحق يعني. But it is better to do what? لا, break the cycle. Break it. Especially when we are brothers with each other. يعني the minute I win, even I have the right. أنت خلاص كده you shy out, you don't want to talk to me anymore. Even though I am the one who have the right, بس إحنا human being, إحنا بشر يعني. خلاص you'll avoid me. Even though you owe me the right, I have the right, but now we are not. But imagine now if I come and say, you know what, forget it, man. Let's start anew. Subhanallah, the relationship will become even better. Yes or no? Yes? فإذا الذي بينك وبينه عداوة كأنه ولي حميم. Allah said, ادفع بالتي هي أحسن. You know, whenever somebody give you bad deed, give good deed back. Then the person that you have animosity with, they will become what? Best friend. بس Allah said, وما يلقاها إلا الذين صبروا. وما يلقاها إلا ذو حظ عظيم. Not everybody will be able to do that. بس الناس اللي عندها resolve. May Allah make us among them سبحانه وتعالى. فضل لنا قد إيه يا شباب؟ 7 minutes. جيد. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال بينما رجل يصلي مسبل إزاره قال رسول الله اذهب فتوضأ. فذهب فتوضأ ثم جاء فقال اذهب فتوضأ. فقال له رجل يا رسول الله ما لك أمرته أن يتوضأ ثم سكت عنه؟ قال إنه كان يصلي وهو مسبل إزاره وإن الله لا يقبل صلاة رجل مسبل. ماشي. This hadith here is narrated in Sunan Abi Dawud. فيه ضعف. And this hadith has some weakness in it. But regardless, حديث أبو هريرة رضي الله عنه, he said, while a person was praying in front of Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم, يعني النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم sitting, Sahaba sitting around him, Abu Hurairah was one of them. Rasulullah looks and a person praying. واحد يصلي في المسجد. يعني النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يصلي. He finished salah, coming to greet Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم. Rasulullah said, go do wudu. Not go repeat salah. There's another hadith, the person, he told him, go صلي فإنك لم تصلي. You know that story, huh? That's in Bukhari and Muslim. That hadith is صحيح يعني. Huh? That other Sahabi, he told him to repeat the salah. Why? Because he was not praying sahih salah. He was not praying properly. But that's not the hadith we're talking about here. This hadith here, a person is praying, and then he finished salah. Rasulullah said, go repeat your wudu. اذهب فتوضأ. So he went and made wudu. And he came back, and the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him, go do wudu again. And he's not seeing the wudu. يعني the wudu is somewhere else. يعني النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم is not seeing his wudu. فيعني if he's seeing the wudu, everybody assumes what? No, he's not doing right wudu. But the Nabi is not seeing the wudu act. Yet he's telling him to go do wudu again. يبقى في what is the mushkil here يعني? This is new. عرفتم? فone of the Sahaba said, يا رسول الله, you tell him go do wudu and then you are quiet. You did not tell him why. And then you go tell him wudu and you're not telling him سكت عنه. يعني you're not following up يعني. The man did what you said, and then you did not tell him what's the issue. فالنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, he said that he had his clothes dragging. His izar is dragging. Musbil. And Allah will not accept the salah from someone whose izar is dragging. طب what is the relationship with wudu now? صح؟ يعني you tell him raise your izar خلاص. صح؟ يعني النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم tell him raise your izar. But wudu is an act of humility. Supposed to change your heart when you are doing wudu. Right? So Rasulullah knew that this person have his izar, there is something in the heart. So tell him to repeat from the beginning. يعني. Go repeat the cycle from the beginning. When you start the salah, you are not ready in here. Go do wudu again. Also, when you come out from the restroom and you do wudu, you fix your clothes. Correct? You fix your clothes before you come to the salah. You make sure that I'm okay. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was telling him also to go and fix that from the beginning. And he's teaching also the Sahaba around. Sallallahu Alaihi. So sometimes he does not just fix the thing like that. Sometimes he will. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Do this. But here Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is telling us that the whole cycle is connected. Salah, Allah looking at you, the way you look, you prepare your look, wudu before Salah, is like that. يعني sometimes the action goes from the beginning. You tell somebody like go and come back. So he's Rasulullah wanting him to fix his clothes. So if the clothes is fixed, that means that person unintentionally have like that. But he came back with the same thing. That means it's a habit of his to have the clothes dragging. Yeah. Then he was corrected. The man was corrected after that. All the hadith, as I mentioned to you, all the hadith talking about isbal, yani, dragging clothes. The majority of the scholars understood it within the frame of arrogance. The frame of what? Arrogance. لأن here هذا اسمه what is it called في الفقه الهدي الظاهر. اسمه إيه الهدي الإيه الظاهر يعني the outward looking, the outward look, the external look, external appearance. Part of it is fard, part of it is sunnah, part of it is mustahab, part of it is cultural. You understand? So الهدي الظاهر هذا same thing like inside. يعني برضو النية فيها كذا وكذا وكذا. Same thing الهدي الظاهر هذا هدي الظاهر. فالهدي الظاهر هذا في لحية وفي مستاش وفي clothing وفي كذا. There are parts here فرض. You have to do this, you have to cover your عورة. فرض ولا لا؟ فرض, right? طيب والإكسترا extra. طيب now الإسبال here will come under the فرض or under the مستحب. Now you understand why. You see? So you go step by step يعني. Some people they focus too much on hadi al-zahir and they leave the heart and the niyyah and all of that. And some people they abandon this as if it doesn't exist. لا, you have to be balanced. You have to be what? Balanced in the middle. Yeah. So when you understand the hadith and the sunnah, there is something called am, general, and something called khas, private. Something called mutlaq, unconditional. Something called muqayyad, is a conditional. يعني you should do such and such and left it open. هذا مطلق unconditional. Except in such and such case. Now I made it what? Condition. So if I have one narration, it is it's unconditional, and one narration is conditional. You have to understand it within that. Right? Then you cannot say that it is always unconditional. It applies to everybody unconditionally. You said no. There is a hadith that make it what? Conditional. Now, the issue is not like that. The issue now is how to make which category you fit under. You fit under the conditional or under the unconditional. هذا بقى شغل العلماء. That is the work of jurist scholars. This is called أصول الفقه. أصول الفقه are fundamentals of fiqh. يعني مثلا I give you something. We say that الخمر يعني ايه liquor. والخمر معروف على عصر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. They know what خمر is. خمر يعني something fermented. The fermentation process, they left it until it's fermented, and when it is fermented, if somebody drink it, become a drunk. خلاص؟ فالنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال الخمر حرام. خمر زي حرام. طيب. Somebody now gets champagne. في حاجة اسمها champagne? Or يعني every country has its own thing. بتوع روسيا have vodka, بتوع كده have tequila كده يعني. And don't wonder يعني الشيخ knows these things. معلش يعني حظنا كده. يعني people come and teach us those things. Because they complain and you have to know. Or any sheikh have to know what is existing around. It doesn't mean that they consume it, but they know. Otherwise, how to give fatwa to somebody يعني. واحد يقول شيخ أنا شربت shot of tequila. What is tequila يعني عصير ده ولا إيه؟ يشرح لك بقى. He will tell you. ويعني ايه shot. And I did not know what shot means. يعني shot كده يعني somebody shooting somebody. He said he gave him a shot. I thought يعني shoot him. والله أنا يعني I was that naive before, you know. But now unfortunately innocence is gone خلاص. طيب. How you say that one of those brands or one of those things is haram? You see, you are saying it's haram. As a lay person, you're saying it's haram. طب haram ليه? How it is khamr? شوف. Now you have to know how to make something which did not exist before have the same ruling as something existed before. اسمه قياس هذا. اسمه ايه؟ analogy. والanalogy هذا has lots of rules under it. صعب مش سهل. Right? صعب مش سهل. So you're going to say that what is the reason that khamr is haram? It's not the process of fermentation. أيوة أحسن. لأن sometimes you ferment something and it's not going to make you drunk. تحرمها ليه؟ يبقى if the fermentation is the reason for tahrim, for prohibition, then everything fermented will be what? Prohibited. الخبز, فسيخ, السمك. You know, like anything ferments. يبقى حرام. يبقى that's not the علة. That cannot be the reasoning. Otherwise we have a problem now. يبقى you're making bread حرام. You ferment. يبقى fermentation is not the علة, صح? What is the علة? Intoxication. تذهب العقل. Now we are good. So anything that will تذهب العقل يبقى ايه؟ والخمر كان يشرب. الخمر what? If you say that the علة that everything intoxicating you you drink it, then what about injection? What about sniffing? It will not become haram then. You understand? So that's why when you're studying the fiqh, you have to understand this. Now you know what the fatwa is. I'm just telling you this deen is not a simple, just like that, you know. Take it and run. No. Some people, they misuse this, even Muslim. يقولون كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يشرب النبيذ. They say Rasul صلى الله عليه وسلم used to drink what? النبيذ. وحديث صحيح. You see, صحيح, yes. So you have to say طيب ماشي. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم drink النبيذ, but what نبيذ بقى? What does he mean by نبيذ? The word نبيذ means what? نبذ يعني put aside. Put something aside. Even النبي كان يشربه, they used to put the raisins or the dates in water and they leave it for some time to cool down and you drink it, like we used to do في مصر وكده في رمضان. سموه الخشاف هذا. You know, you put the dates and everything from like Asr time until Maghrib time and it becomes tender and sweet. Now if you leave this more than 3 days, it will become fermented. It will become khamr. You understand now? فدي said النبي كان يشرب النبيذ and this is نبيذ so we can drink this one. ده في كده يعني. There are some people who came like this in satellite channels وتكلموا هذا والنبي كان يشرب النبيذ ويبقى يملك النبيذ حرام. خلاص كان now you know شاردوني بقى اسمه شاردوني. عارفين الشاردوني؟ You don't know شاردوني. فرنش ها؟ وايت ولا ريد؟ ما أنا بركب الطيارة كتير يعني. I go in the airplane a lot. And then you know the minute people fly, they drink wine عشان you get knocked out. الله يخرب بيوتهم كلهم. They drink wine to be knocked out كلهم يعني. يعني the guy comes and said عايز تشرب واين ولا لا؟ شكور بعيد عني. فدي drink the wine. So they said هذا اسمه ايه؟ نبيذ. نبيذ means wine. والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الحديث say يشرب الايه؟ But is it the same? No. That is why I'm telling you, you have to know why it is prohibited. Forget about the names. Forget about names. لأن هناك في السعودية ناوي يشربوا بير. فيها بير بس اسمها ايه؟ non-alcoholic ايه؟ beer. You cannot say سعودي drink beer وهنا Budweiser خلينا نشرب Budweiser. ينفع كده يعني؟ ف you get idea, right? وبادوايزر ما شاء الله شاطرين يعني they are very smart, they business oriented يعني they will make Budweiser non-alcoholic في الجماعة المسلمين دول. يعني هو producing both. مشكلة يعني it's a big problem. Now you go أنا I saw that myself يعني non-alcoholic wine موجود ها حلال واين ايوه موجود. انا والله انا afraid that I see حلال pork one day. It's doable by the way يعني بس I'll tell you how. But don't tell us how شيخ. ما هو it's all about naming شيخ. They can make a lab grown something called pork. وهو مش pork يعني. It is not pork. يعني now they have meat which is not meat. صح؟ معمولة من soya beans and all of that. So they can make something like that which the texture is the same, the taste is the same, and they call it halal pork. ممكن يعني. So the idea is avoiding the names and all of that becomes a better way to do things. بس as I said في عندهم beer now وفي non-alcoholic drinks with the same thing and even they put it in the same bottle. How many of you went to the store before and you find this champagne like apple cider fizzy drink ها كده bottle. طب imagine كده يعني imagine if somebody took a picture for me when I'm holding one of those bottles. You're gonna look يعني into the it's non-alcoholic. نعم. لا ممكن يعني أشوف now that's what I'm saying. It is more of قضية أخلاقية. It is more of a behavioral right issue. درء المفسدة مقدم عليه جلب الايه مصلحة. يعني preventing evil is better than bringing benefit. And I'm talking from an academic halal haram perspective. Now the impact of it and all of that is something to look at as well. I am not with saying halal beer. I'm not with that. Right? I'm not. I will not drink these kind of things. Right? Just شكلها مش حلو يا أخي. It doesn't even look good. Yeah, and people bring it and then they say cheers and then they put it in. يعني it's not going to end يعني. I'm just telling you, it's not going to end. Everybody want to have the same experience but in a halal way. زي ما الأخ بيقول يعني. And that's not good. هذا في تشبه في يعني imitation of the كفار. Imitation of أهل الفسق والفجور. Imitation of the people who are corrupted. يعني they drinking in this kind of glass. I'm drinking in the same glass. They have the same bottle. I'm having the same bottle. يعني بس حتة مكتوب non-alcoholic in the back. طب يعني put these two people together كده beside each other. And what is the difference? No difference. عندنا إشكالية الآن. يعني the child who grow up, how can he tell the difference? Had a bottle or had a bottle. This glass, this glass. He imitating the same thing. فيعني this is not good. That's why people play cards even though they are not putting actual money. That's not a good thing to put fake money. هذا برضو مش حلو مش صح. ممكن يكون مكروه مش حرام بس don't do it. Like some people will smoke instead of هذه الأشياء اللي فيها كده they smoke something vape ما شاء الله you know and then you have في strawberry وفي apples وفي you know and so one time I enter a place and then it smells good. Then I said, MashaAllah, your air freshener smells good. Everybody started laughing. I said, why are you laughing? He said, we were vaping. You know, they're laughing because, you know, they said, you like it, right? I said, no, I don't like it anymore. It's not good. I like the smell, but I don't like what you did. That's not a good thing to do. You have to be very, very careful in these things, inshallah. طيب احنا we stop. here is the time, right? It's time now? What time is it? 7? فيعني summary of what we did in this section is dressing or attire is part of the deen, something called al-hadi al-zahir, the outward look. Part of it is fard, part of it is sunnah, mustahab or makruh. You cannot judge or rule anything unconditional if it is conditional. This is the work of scholars, and the scholars go through a big process to analyze what is the hukm of something, right? And you have to appreciate that as a Muslim. Appreciate our deen is protected, alhamdulillah. Allah Azza wa Jalla gave us scholars whose job is to stay day and night studying, trying to make it easy for the Muslims. Also, we benefit that our deen is a whole total package. Part of it is going to be tough on you, part of it is going to be easy on you, part of it things you like, part of it things you dislike. You cannot pick and choose, otherwise you come with a noble religion, a new religion. That's a part of no shopping around. Let the choice become from the scholar to you, not by you, as a lay person. That's our shuyukh taught us. Yani whenever you have an issue, ask the sheikh. And when the sheikh gives you the easy opinion, you follow the sheikh. You follow the opinion of a scholar. It's not like you pick and choose. Because you pick and choose based on your own convenience, and that's not good for you. Right? But when a alim picks, he picks on the tarjih. Yani dalil. I know the dalil of the Hanafi is this. I know the dalil of the Maliki is this. I know the dalil of Shafi'i is this. I know the dalil of Hanbali is this. And I know the process of each one, how they got to the product at the end. Then I'm telling you what fits you is this. So Jazakallah khair, Shaykh, and you go do it. Even though you are following the Hanafi madhab in general, but in this specific issue you had haraj, you have some issues. So when you come to me and say you can do like that, you cannot say that I'm not Hanafi anymore. No, you are still. But now there is a scholar who made things easier for you. You have to appreciate that. That's why some people will say, why our deen is from the scholars? Why the scholars make the... Please, take it easy on yourself. Take it easy on yourself. Yani these scholars, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said about them, if they make ijtihad and they end up wrong, they're still rewarded. And when they make it right, they're rewarded twice. Why? Because their intention is laysa tashahi, is not by desire. Their intention is they want to please Allah and make it easy for the public. So their intention is not to gain anything out of it. And when you come and ask me for fatwa, and I give you an easy opinion or a hard opinion, it is not because it is easy or hard. It is because the dalil, I can see it can be doing and it can fix your problem. It can solve your issue. So take it and leave. All right? For that is also we need to appreciate and learn. Lastly, we need to appreciate the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that we learn a lot. Even when you're studying one subject, you study another 10 subjects with it. And then, after a while, you will find yourself in love with the sunnah of Rasulullah, and you'll find lots of things in your life changing automatically without you even feeling it. So we are studying about the dress code, but now we studied usul fiqh. We studied the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We studied how some Sahaba act. Huh? We studied the adab, etiquettes. See how many things we studied in 1 hour? فهذا أمر جميل. We have to appreciate it and be excited about it. صلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد والحمد لله رب العالمين وجزاكم الله خيرا وبارك الله فيكم جميعا. أيوة حبيبي غزة بقى أقول. Your obligation is within your ability يا محمد. See, this is a summary يعني. Within your ability. And that's why I said you have to find that link. If it is dua, do dua. If it is donation, make sure the donation reaches them, is not played with, or it is not held somewhere under the name. Because lots of people will invest in this, will commercialize whatever it is. Right? If it is to teach children, if it is to even deny with your heart what is happening, كل واحد حسب قدرته لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Even when you want to do something and the door is closed for it, you don't want to going to torture yourself. You said, either I do this or I'm not doing anything. Well, that's what everybody is doing now. It's either I go fight or it's not happening. No? There is lots of things. They don't even need you to go fight. هتعمل إيه يعني? So, education, fix yourself, make the dua, make in the qunut, work on yourself to become a better Muslim.